What is going on, everybody? Late night and on here. I had another hockey game tonight, two in a row. Feel great. Um, so happy release day for Black and White. Um, what I want to talk about is, and this is a little bit of a thought experiment, is what is the impact on TCG player? And obviously, eBay, anybody can pre-sell. In fact, there are a ton of scammers who pre-sell, and you don't have a whole lot of protections as a buyer, but that is a different conversation. But on TCG Player, you have to be pre-qualified to pre-sell, um, and the qualifications they're not super difficult, but they're not super simple either. So on release day, the pre-sale restriction unlocks and you get a little bit more of a reasonable market value or market pricing, if you will. So this is frozen as of a couple hours ago before the restriction was lifted. So, again, it's a little bit of a thought experiment, and I'll probably take a look at this again tomorrow and put the screen side by side to see where we're at. So let's start with the tins, and we can kind of work backwards. So most of the tins are sitting right around 30 bucks, $15 a pack. There's one black, one white pack in there. I would anticipate these tins probably dropping down into the 23, 24 range. There's a lot of folks out there that have been, screaming that this set's going to MSRP. There are no sets going to MSRP. It's not going to happen because there's too much demand. There's not enough supply. It's a specialty set. The packs are going to be $10. It doesn't matter. I ran a sale to elites in Discord, and it was a bunch of different SKUs, but the average price came out to like $8.07 a pack. And people were complaining about it. They're like, well, this isn't, this is going to go way below this at sale or at release and this and that. And quite honestly, they're just ignorant. They don't understand the market. They don't know anything. These packs are not going to go under $10. It's not going to happen because the rip and shippers are going crazy. And I mean, rip and shippers are paying $9 a pack right now. And it just is what it is. So I don't really talk about the binder collections or the sticker collections don't come out yet. Neither do the bundles, neither does the Victini. But I really want to focus on the ETBs. So the regular ETBs. So right now we have Black Bolt at 110, White Flare at 109. So from the start, I kind of predicted that this would settle somewhere in the $75 to $85 range. Remember, MSRP-ness is $50. Is not getting there. So you got no shot. It's also going to be interesting to see how many of these get dumped on the market, because we're probably 7 to 10 days from max scalp dump. So you'll see your Walmarts and those stores ship the scalped items, and then you'll see a ton of no little feedback sellers on here, and they'll just undercut the price to sell the product. But it's really going to come down to sell through. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the set. I'm not a huge fan of the generation. I looked at this set initially as to where I thought the price of these was going to end up at, and it was really between $85 and $95, just based on the value of the cards in the set. And it's a little limited because one of the big cards in Japan is a trainer. The value of trainers does not translate to English at all. People who buy English cards really don't give a shit about trainers. So that's going to be interesting. I think the other thing that's going to be interesting is the sell-through rate on this. Prismatic, the sell-through rate was absolutely through the roof. North of 100 ETBs per day for months. Here, you're splitting the demand into two. Obviously, you're also splitting the supply. So are we going to see 80 of each sell? Are we going to see 50 of each sell? Or is it going to be something less than that? It's super fascinating because this is the first time in a long time we have a split set. So that's really what I'm interested in. So let's refresh this and see if they've unlocked. It looks like they have not unlocked yet. Here you're at 107. Yeah, you're at 107 and 107. And I assume this is 95. Yeah, with $14 shipping. It's so stupid. But it looks like it is unlocked. So you're still at 95 plus $15 shipping. So we'll see tomorrow when the product starts to dump or people start to list in the morning what happens. But again, I am here. Let's change this to cars. Let's take a look real quick. Order seal product, high to low. Yeah, I mean, most of the cards don't have any pricing yet, so it doesn't really matter. And even if we sort on the rarity, black, white, rare. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the black, white, rare sell for. I'm guessing they end up in the 300 range. I don't know. I mean, well, that's just the SIR. Where is this? Yeah, black, white, rare is not even listed yet. So it's gonna be interesting. It's a unique set. It's a very unique setup. I think it's a little bit of experiment on, and quite honestly, a little innovative on the Pokemon side. So we'll see. So anyway, guys, go to your LGS, play your pre-release, rip your packs, enjoy yourself. It's not often we get a new set like this. Quite honestly, it only happens. It's a unique set, so it happens once, and we're not going to have another specialty set until January. So anyway, guys, have a great night.